Howdy, folks. This is Gary here from BandBreeze, and today I would like to take you through the Stage Plot Designer. This is an exclusive tool available to BandBreeze subscribers. Let's start by kind of explaining what a stage plot is. Now, you may have heard this referred to as a stage plot, a tech writer, a stage writer, regardless of the name. Basically, what it is a blueprint that you provide to a house sound engineer that tells them where your band members live on the stage. This is important because then they can accommodate all of the backline inputs that you need, monitors, things like that. If you have played venues with a house engineer, most likely you've been asked for a stage plot. And most people just don't know how to make one of these. You can use Photoshop, Canva. There's different ways you can do it, but we have built a tool that makes it super easy to create and export. And by the way, you can publish this directly to your profile, which is super helpful because you will likely be asked for this anyway. So let's get into how you actually use the tool. Now, if you notice, here is a blank canvas in the center area, and on the left side is a list of assets. These are graphic assets that can be dragged and dropped onto the canvas. So the first thing we're going to do is enter a title for our stage plot. Let's call it My Cool Band. You can call it whatever you want. I assume your band is very cool, though. Okay, now let's take a look at the left-hand panel here. Now, if I expand the drum category, you can see I've got a drum set, I've got some bongos. Amplifier category, I've got a guitar combo amp, I've got a bass amp, I've got a guitar half stack, and so on and so forth. So for each of these categories, we have assets that correspond to that category. In the miscellaneous category, there's some extra stuff like in-ear monitor system, some horns, different things that you might want to apply to your stage plot. So for the purpose of demonstration, to make this easy, let's go to the sets category. The set category contains assets that are combined assets from other categories that represent a single band member. So for instance, we'll choose the guitar set and drag that onto the canvas. As you can see, there is a monitor and a microphone. This is pretty typical of what somebody might need, your guitar player might need on the stage. Now, let's say that your bass player is over here, stage left. We'll drag him there. You can resize and move these around as you wish. Let's check out the drum set. Also includes a microphone and a monitor. And again, you don't have to do the sets. You can actually, use individual assets if that's easier for you. The sets just make it easy if you utilize kind of a typical setup for most bands where everyone gets a monitor and a microphone. Okay, let's say your vocalist lives in the center of the stage, as they usually do. Make him a little bigger. Okay, and finally, let's place the keyboard player right there. Okay? Now, the second step, and again, this is all optional. It's completely up to you how you build your stage plot. But what I like to do is add names for each of the locations. This just helps the sound engineer. Often they'll ask for names like, hey, Joe needs a little more guitar in his monitor or something like that. So if I click Add Label, I'm going to drag a label right to the drum set. And let's say this is Joe the drummer. Okay, I'm going to move this right under the drum set. Okay, let's say your guitar player is Jerry. Okay. I won't do all of these. I'm just trying to give you an idea of how the labels can be used. So once you add any desired labels to the plot, another thing I like to do is to assign numbers to them. And this will make more sense in a minute. But for now, let's go to numbers. Okay, and we are going to make Joe number 1 because Drummers are always number one, right? So we'll make Jerry number 2, make the keyboard player number 3, and so on and so on. Now here's why this is important, because the second part to the stage plot is your input list. And this is super important because it tells your house engineer what kinds of inputs are needed for that particular band member to accommodate the instrumentation they are using. So let's go down here to our input field and let's type a name. So Joe is going to get a vocal mic. This is the type of input, so he's getting a vocal mic, add input. Okay, so now we've got Joe on a vocal mic. Joe also needs drum mics, obviously. You can add those as well. Let's go to our guitar player, Jerry. Now, Jerry needs a vocal mic. Jerry also needs a guitar microphone. Or, of course, if he's running direct, you can choose DI box. There's different options here under the input type. So vocal mic, amp mic, so forth. Actually, in this case, we'll choose guitar mic. And we'll add that input. Okay, we didn't name our singer, but let's give him a name now. And his name is William. Okay. So William is vocal, and he needs a vocal mic. So we're going to add that input. Okay, now let's say our bass player's name is Derek. So we choose bass from the instrumentation category. And then over here in the input type, let's choose DI box. That's a direct box that runs right to the house console. 1/4 inch, add input. And you can add as many of these inputs as you like. So let's assume at this stage you have created your entire stage plot, added all the labels, all the instrumentation that you need, and all of the necessary inputs. Okay, at this point we can save this design, and this will actually create a project file that you can save to your local computer. And if you wish to go back and edit the stage plot later, you don't have to start from scratch. You can just import the design, make the adjustments, resave it. But now we're ready to actually download this. And if you look at the download options, there are 2 options. Download as PDF, download as JPEG. If you are publishing to your BandBreeze profile, you might want to use a JPEG. But if you are sending via email attachment, maybe you want to download as a PDF. In any case, when you download your stage plot, you'll get the save dialog, and then you can save your stage plot, call it whatever you want. And that's it. Now you've got a document that you can send to your house engineer, and also a graphic file that you can publish to your BandBreeze profile. So I hope this little tutorial was helpful, and I hope that you can utilize the Stage Plot Designer and level up your band. Make those sound engineers happy, because when they are happy, you will sound good. And that's what we want. So come check it out, and we will catch you on the next one.